correspondent on History Reconnaissance. This is the Japanese Type 95 Hago light tank. Like the American M3 Stuart, the Type 95 was not designed to combat other tanks. Its main role was to support and keep pace with motorized infantry. 2,300 were produced between 1936 and 1943, and a number of versions: crane vehicle, armored railroad car, amphibious, self-propelled gun, and a prototype tank destroyer. The Type 95 had a crew of 3, commander, hull machine gunner and driver. Only the commander was seated in the small, hand-operated, very cramped turret. Primary armament, 37mm tank gun. Ammunition, high explosive and armor piercing. Secondary armament, 2 6.5mm machine guns, later replaced with 2 7.7mm. Battles of Khalkhin Gol were a part of a border conflict between the Soviet Union and Japan in 1939. Armor losses were high and lessons learned on both sides. The Type 95s used their speed and movability with some success, but were outgunned by the heavier Soviet tanks.
Concealed Jap tanks pin us down. So one of the jobs of ordnance behind the line of fire is the immediate study of captured enemy weapons. On the Burma frontier, the first captured Jap tank to be put into working order is rushed back to Imphal, India. There, ordnance studies it to tell the boys at the front how to knock it out. This tank holds 3 men, Japanese size, and mounts a 37 caliber plus 2 30 caliber machine guns. It has several good points. It's highly maneuverable for a quick right or left turn. And it can get along very well over ditches, trenches, and rough terrain. Notice how low the wheels go down in the ditch. If you don't want a crease in your helmet, dig your foxhole good and deep. But she's got weak points and can be made defenseless. It's vulnerable at all times. From a distance, it can be put out of commission with a rifle. Here's how. This is the rear idler and track. The wheel is held by only a single bracket. And a well-placed bullet can throw the track off the bogies by breaking this bracket, thus stopping the tank dead in its tracks. Make a note of these weak spots: the pistol ports and slits, the eyes of the tank when under fire. A splatter of machine gun fire can put out the eyes. Inside these ventilator hatches is the heart of the tank, the engine. Machine gun fire will knock it out. The ventilators are also vulnerable to close quarter attack with hand grenades and incendiaries. Under this hatch is the oiling system, fuel supply and batteries. Extremely vulnerable at close quarters. This is the best spot to set the tank afire, an ideal target for a Molotov cocktail. The turret is hand-operated, but there's a gap between the turret and the hull, and if anything is wedged between the two parts, the turret is useless. A canteen, a rock, or your bayonet will do the trick. Ordnance tried this tank out to compare its speed with our own. The course was 4/10 of a mile. The American tank, the one furthest from the camera, quickly forges ahead and rapidly increases the lead. The finish line. Time for our tank, 50 seconds. Jap tank, 55 seconds. Our tank, 10% faster. A pretty good tank, but not so tough against the soldiers who have taken time to learn the weapons of the enemy.
December 22nd, 1941. A U.S. Army tank platoon with 5 brand new M3 Stuart light tanks from B Company, 192nd Tank Battalion, was engaged by Japanese Type 95 tanks of the IGA 4th Tank Regiment. The Japanese fired first, destroying the lead M3. The other 4 were hit and retreated. Battles of the Pacific Islands, the Type 95s were increasingly used in bandside charges or dug in as pillboxes. During the Battle of Tarawa, 7 entrenched Type 95s opposed the American landings. The same on Macon Island, Perry Island and the Nevitoc. All were destroyed. On Saipan, Type 95s attacked the American Marine beachhead and were destroyed by tank fire. The night after, 44 Japanese tanks of Type 97 and Type 95 attacked again. All were knocked out by Marine tanks, M3 75mm half-tracks, bazookas and anti-tank guns. Japan did design and produce heavier tanks, like these Type 3 Chinook. They were never used in combat and kept back for the defense of the homeland.
That's all folks. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.